That was The Haunted Shower, an urban legend. Absolutely love. A classic from college campuses. I'm here with the director, Cat Hostick. Cat, welcome.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure. So, The Haunted Shower, what is it about this story, this particular urban legend that attracted you? Had you heard it before?
I've heard of somebody like kids hazing and somebody dying in a bathroom, like the scalding of the water. Like it all sounds really familiar. Specifically though, the people dying who were responsible for that murder, dying one at a time in weird ways.
Well, it's the classic college setup. When you heard the concept in the urban legend, what was most exciting to shoot? Like, oh, I can't wait to do that scene.
It sounds so dark when I say these things, but the ending, she's showering the blood off of herself, of this guy that she just killed. There's just something about that scene.
Going back to Psycho, I mean, you know, the vulnerability
That was the first movie I ever saw, a horror movie I ever saw.
All right, Psycho.
Yeah.
That's like the classic shower scene. Tell me about that night.
I just remember that scene in the shower and the music, and then just his cuts and just seeing the blood go down the drain and the horror face. Yeah, it was...
It was so forbidden.
Yeah.
There's something about the haunted shower that endures. Maybe because everyone has had shower bullying episodes when you go to overnight camp, or that feeling of being vulnerable and the gang going after you in the shower is a very real fear.
Well, because you're literally nude. Like, you're the most vulnerable that you could possibly be, and then something like that happens, like the ultimate fear. There was definitely hazing in my high school.
Oh, I remember when I was in high school, they started making you sign a thing vowing that you won't haze anyone in college because legally it was becoming such a problem with kids.
Yeah.
It's insane, you know, you work so hard to get into college. You're also away from home. There's no adults punishing you.
Yeah.
That the spirit comes back to punish.
That's the thing, right? Like, that's what's scary about this is whatever you want to believe, you believe in God, you believe in ghosts, you believe in energy spirits. I do believe that there is energy in this world, and if you want to prey on the weak and put out negative energy, you're going to get that back in some way.
How do you build suspense and build scares? Like, do you plan it out? Do you rehearse it?
I just feel like scares are all about timing and kind of readjusting the expectations of the viewer. So one thing I really like to do with scares, I do this quite a bit, is I love to introduce another subject into the frame as a surprise, because I think that if I'm staying with you, I think we're so used to watching television and seeing one person in the frame. But if we're slowly with that person and, you know, seeing there's nothing there, but we're with them, and then all of a sudden we just switch and we short-side it, and now there's somebody else in the frame right here. I feel like that's a pretty good scare that usually works.
When did you start getting the bug to direct?
I knew from a young age I wanted to tell stories. So I always had the desire, and it just went that I was an actress first, and I still am an actress. But then it translated, I wanted to tell stories in a different way.
Is there a certain type of scene that you're always just like, yes, I get to shoot one of these today?
I love shooting fight scenes, and that includes anything with gore. That stuff's always fun, because I also have a bit of a stunt background. I was like Tatiana Maslany's The She-Hulk, her stunt double.
But that's a great background to have, because you understand what it takes to, what goes into a stunt.
Yeah, it's always helpful, right? Just having all these little pieces. So I get really excited for stuff like that.
You know, one thing that I love about your work is that the terror the victim is experiencing feels very real. And as an actor, I always have to work myself up to a crazy place to make that feel real, where some other actors who are more experienced can just turn it on and off. How much do you do that in the audition? Do you save it for the take? Do you rehearse it?
It depends on the actor. You know, in television, you don't really have a lot of time to do a bunch of takes. Everything is so quick-paced, but, you know, you need to get a really important performance, or you have to give the actor that respect to get to that place, especially in these shows. If I know they can't get somewhere, I'll ask them questions that I know could bring them to that place, that could help recall a certain memory or something like that.
Tell us about some of the other episodes you've directed, and where can people go to find your work?
On Discovery Plus, I'm directing Ghosts Through My Life, Season 2. My Possessed Pet, we just finished, which is really interesting, working with animals.
And where can people find you, either on social or a website, just to look up more of your work and get to know you?
I'm most present on Instagram, so at Cat Hostick. I do have a website, catthedirector.ca.
Well, Kat, you were such an amazing creative force.
Thank you,
as a,
likewise.
Director, writer, actor. I really, really love everything that you're doing.
Thank
Really
you.
such a fan of yours.
Thank you for having me, and likewise.